The story begins in Iraq in 2010. A group of soldiers moves through the desert at night, guns raised, scanning for threats. Their mission leads them to something unexpected. A man-made cave carved into the earth. The squad leader, Lieutenant Griggs, sends two of his men, Santino and Trantner, inside to check it out. The camera light flickers. Then it dies completely. In the darkness, the men start screaming. Night vision kicks on, revealing hundreds of bats flooding out around them. But one of the soldiers, Santino, doesn't run. He pushes deeper into the cave, moving through a river of human skulls on the ground. His light hits the far wall. There's something carved into the stone, a Latin inscription. Santino stares at it for a long moment. This is where everything begins. 3 years later, New York City, 2013. Detective Ralph Sarchie kneels over a tiny bundle near a dumpster, trying desperately to bring it back to life. It's a baby. The coroner tells him to stop. It's too late. Sarchie has a hard time letting go. This is the kind of case that breaks people. But for Sarchie, it's just another Tuesday night in the Bronx. He gets back in the patrol car with his partner Butler, and they're already moving to the next call. A domestic dispute has just come in. Sarchie says they'll take it. Butler smiles, because Sarchie has a gift for finding the worst possible situations. His radar, Butler calls it. Cases that seem routine but turn into something much darker. The address belongs to a man named Jimmy Trantner. When Jimmy opens the door, something is already wrong. Inside, his wife sits on the sofa. Her face is badly injured. Sarchie and Butler move to arrest Jimmy immediately, and Jimmy fights back. He pulls a knife and slashes Sarchie across the arm. Then he runs. They chase him down and bring him in. But even as they're cuffing him, Sarchie can't shake the feeling that something here is off. His fingers are bleeding, his nails torn up. Something beyond a normal domestic case. He has no idea how right he is. And then another call comes in. This one from the Bronx Zoo. A woman has thrown her 2-year-old child into the lion enclosure. Luckily, the pit is being repainted. The lions aren't in it. The boy survives, badly injured. But in the chaos, the woman escaped. The power went out, and now she's somewhere in the zoo, in the dark. Sarchie and Butler split up to search. Sarchie follows the sounds of panicking animals. They can sense something he can't. He rounds a corner and finds the woman on her knees, digging into the dirt with her bare fingernails. She keeps repeating words, over and over. Song lyrics, something from the Doors. And that's when he notices a figure in the enclosure. A painter in a hood, standing completely still, just watching. Sarchie calls out. The figure slowly walks away, deeper into the lion pit. Sarchie follows. Then the lions come out. He barely makes it out alive. Back at the station, they're booking the woman. Her name is Jane. When a priest walks in, his name is Mendoza. He knows Jane personally and says she isn't insane. He starts talking about two kinds of evil, the kind humans do, and something else entirely. Primary evil, something that uses people. He believes Jane is possessed. Sarchie doesn't believe a word of it, but he takes Mendoza's card. Wrapping up paperwork, Sarchie overhears 2 other detectives complaining about a strange case. A family reporting disturbing noises in their basement. And they mention a painter, a man no one got a good look at, always wearing a hood. Sarchie immediately sees the connection. He takes the case. When they arrive at the house, the family is terrified. Every light burns out within hours of being replaced. The basement smells like something has been rotting there for a long time. Sarchie and Butler go downstairs to investigate. Sarchie's radio starts making static for no clear reason. At the back of the basement, rolled up in a tarpaulin, is a body. It's Lieutenant Griggs, the man who led those soldiers into the cave in Iraq. The investigation starts pulling everything together, but in the worst possible direction. Griggs, Santino, and Jimmy Trantner all served together. All 3 were dishonorably discharged for attacking their own army chaplain. They served time and got out a couple of years ago, and since then, something has been very wrong with all of them. Griggs is gone. Jimmy is in a cell, his nails torn down to nothing. And Santino, the hooded painter from the zoo, and apparently from Iraq, is still out there. What is he doing at all these locations? And why does no one ever get a clear look at his face? Sarchie is about to find out, but the truth is far worse than anything he imagined. Meanwhile, things at home are falling apart. Sarchie's wife Jen is patient, but she's running out of it. He's distant, unreachable, even when he's sitting right in front of her. And their young daughter Christina is scared. She hears scratching sounds under her bed and runs screaming to her mother's room. Jen says Christina doesn't feel safe in her own home, and she needs her father to be there, really there. Sarchie tries, but every time he closes his eyes, the job follows him home. One night, he walks into Christina's room to check on her. The room is quiet. Nothing seems wrong. He starts to turn away, and then he sees it. In the mirror, a man, covered in blood, is hovering over his daughter's bed. He spins around. Nobody there. Sarchie goes to Jimmy Tratner's wife's house. He needs to see the recordings from Iraq. She hasn't seen Jimmy since his arrest. But the recordings are there, on hard drives. He sees the inscription on the wall. Sarchie watches the cave footage. And then something clicks. That inscription is everywhere Santino has been. The cave in Iraq, the zoo enclosure, the haunted basement. He's painting the same thing over and over across the entire city. Sarchie goes to meet Mendoza at a bar. The priest explains that Sarchie's radar, that instinct for finding the worst cases, isn't just intuition. He believes it's a genuine sensitivity to the occult, a heightened awareness of primary evil, not the evil men do to each other, but something older and much harder to fight. He plays Sarchie an audio recording from his first exorcism, a woman and her 5-year-old daughter. What comes out of the speakers makes Sarchie go pale. He's starting to believe. Sarchie shows Mendoza a photo of the inscription and asks him what it means. Mendoza looks at the translated text. It's a portal, a door. Santino has been opening something. At every location he's touched, he's carved or painted the same inscription, a door to something that should stay firmly shut. They track down Santino's apartment. Sarchie and Butler go in first, with Mendoza waiting outside. They clear every room. Nothing. But then Sarchie hears music playing from somewhere deeper in the building. He catches a glimpse of Santino stepping into the elevator and follows him down to the basement. That's when everything goes wrong. In the darkness of the basement, Jimmy Tratner appears, escaped from custody, his eyes completely blank. He attacks Sarchie, clawing at him. Mendoza arrives and subdues Jimmy. But on the stairs above, Santino has found Butler. Butler fights hard. He's not easy to take down. But Santino is something more than a man now. And Butler isn't walking out of that stairwell. That's when everything goes wrong. Sarchie finds him too late. Later that evening in a small chapel, the weight of Butler's loss is crushing. Mendoza tells Sarchie he needs to confess. Sarchie resists. He stopped going to church years ago. He stopped believing. But Mendoza pushes. And finally, Sarchie breaks. He tells the priest about a night that has haunted him ever since. He had found a crime scene, a serial killer's work. And then the killer came back. Sarchie chased him down and caught him. And then he didn't stop. He eliminated the man, not in defense but out of rage. An oily darkness has been growing inside him ever since. Mendoza listens to all of it, and then he absolves him. Something shifts in the room. Sarchie drives home through the night. He's barely 2 blocks away when something falls onto the hood of his car. It's Jane. She's been badly injured. She slides off the car and is gone. His phone rings. It's his home number. But the voice on the other end isn't Jen's. It's Santino. He says Sarchie's wife and daughter will die unless he finds them. And he'll only tell Sarchie where they are if Sarchie lets him in, into his soul. Sarchie refuses. He calls for backup and races home. He finds Santino there covered in blood and acting crazy. Police arrive and take Santino into custody, but he's barely a man anymore. Whatever came through the door has made its home inside him. In the interrogation room, Mendoza and Sarchie begin what promises to be the longest night of their lives. The exorcism is brutal. Santino screams, bites, twists in ways that a human body shouldn't move. He knows things about Mendoza, things about Sarchie, private things that cut deep. He uses them like weapons. At one point, Mendoza nearly loses his focus, and Sarchie can only hear a Doors song playing somewhere in the back of his mind, drowning everything else out. But they don't stop. Mendoza fights his way through every phase. He gets the demon to reveal its name, and that gives him power over it. The exorcism reaches its breaking point. And then, finally, Santino collapses. The color returns to his face. He's confused, exhausted, human again. And somewhere in what's left of his memory is a location. Sarchie finds his wife and daughter there, shaken but unharmed. In the end, something changed in Ralph Sarchie the night of the exorcism. He goes back to church. He starts talking to Jen again. After the birth of their second daughter, he leaves the police force, and from that point on, he works alongside Mendoza. That was Deliver Us from Evil, the 2014 supernatural thriller based on a true story, or at least the account written by the real Ralph Sarchie. The film takes the demonic possession genre somewhere grittier and more grounded than most, setting it in the actual streets of the South Bronx with a detective who'd rather punch something than pray over it. If you want more international horror, cult films, and underrated hidden gems broken down for you, hit subscribe and you'll be the first to know when we drop the next one. Thanks for watching.